Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird, the Michelle Birdsong in New York City. This is part 2 of Careful Who You Make Your Babies With. Robin's been, this is Robin. She was Azura in the Garden of Eden, the Robin Michelle Birdsong. Okay. She is Stevie Wonder's her biological father. Gurinder Singh Dylan Jesus Christ is her other father. Edwin Birdsong is did the physical sexual part to make her, so he's her other father as well. Okay. Robin's been, so I've been listing the places she's been. She's a traveler. Her mother was an airline stewardess, a traveler for work, and her father, Stevie Wonder, travels for work, and Robin travels for pleasure, usually. So let's see some of the places she's been. Robin's been to area near Fort Campbell, Kentucky as a small child for horseback riding lessons. She's been to Beijing, China as a member of Dr. and Mrs. Gerald Jampolsky organization, Children as Teachers of Peace, where she made friends. She also traveled with that group to Central America, including Nicaragua, where she asked the president, Daniel Ortega, a question during live broadcasts on the radio. Robin has lived in West Hampton, New York, Fire Island, Massac Beach, Long Island. She has lived in the UK for many years, traveled by bus to Seattle, Washington from New York City. I'm not kidding, she's a jet setter. That's what her other father, Michael John Spear, calls her. She traveled to Sleepaway Greenwich House Camp in upstate New York. She traveled to Fayetteville, North Carolina to see Gurinder Singh, her other father, Jesus Christ. She traveled to Baltimore, Maryland with the family to see Gurinder Singh, Jesus Christ. She traveled to Washington, D.C. to see her brother sing Birdsong perform with Luscious Jackson at the Tibetan Freedom Concert initiated by the Beastie Boys, who discovered Luscious Jackson. Robin lived in Trafford, Pennsylvania, Kitchener, Canada, where we went to see Gurinder Singh, and in Trafford, Pennsylvania, we visited Melanie, who was Robin's sister, who was living there. Now Melanie, this is Melanie. She was A1 in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve's daughter. This is Adam, A1's original father. Okay, A1's biological father is Isaiah Allen Jackson, a classical music conductor. Okay, so let's see. She's been, where am I? Melanie, who was living there, has lived in different areas of America, which is fitting since she was Christopher Columbus. She has lived in or visited the state of Texas, Louisiana, Clarksville, Tennessee, California, Colorado, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Long Island, West Hampton, New York. I think that's also Long Island. She was born in Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan, New York, and grew up in Manhattan. She has visited some of the same places as her sister: Baltimore, Maryland, Kitchener, Canada, Niagara Falls, New York. Melanie, who was Melanie Lynn Spear, was into sports as a child and a teenager. Like her mother and father, she is quite tall. She played soccer, softball, and got a newspaper write-up and won a large trophy playing girls basketball. She roller skated and ice skated, as did Robin. Singh went ice skating, skateboarding, and did wheelies on his bicycle. Robin rode horseback in Central Park. Singh went horseback riding in Kentucky. He and Robin also pages are stuck together. He and Robin also attended sleepaway camp. Robin flew down to Blue Ridge Mountains of West Virginia. That's where they went to camp. Robin couldn't stay with us the full time we were in Baltimore. Michael John Spear, Melanie Robin Singh, and I visited Baba G, Jesus Christ, Gurinder Singh, Dillon. Robin had a meeting to attend in New York. She was a counselor for Prep for Prep, the exclusive clearinghouse for gifted minority students. They tutored the brightest of the bright. She had to pass rigorous tests, including IQ tests, to be accepted by the program. But if they were, 1, accepted, 2, worked hard while being prepared by volunteer private school teachers to attend private school, and 3, graduated from Prep for Prep program, they could choose a New York City private school or an exclusive boarding school to attend. I didn't want to send my children away, so we settled on one of the most prestigious religious schools in downtown Manhattan, Grace Church School, high standard Episcopalian private middle school. After Robin graduated Grace Church School, we looked around for high schools. We chose the unpretentious Quaker school, Friends Seminary. They did 10 minutes of silence every morning before starting classes. I like that. Dave Roberts, who said the best time of his life was when he attended Friends Seminary, talks to me about Friends. He knows that all 3 of my children attended there. 2 children, 2, Singh and Robin, graduated. Dave Roberts, a resident here at St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3. Sings very well. He's a voracious reader. Occasionally he brings me Indian food from Dil-e. This, I'll show you. This is the place, Dile-e Punjab Delhi, 179th Avenue. Authentic Indian food. It's delicious. I wolf it down every time. Lots of Sikh taxi drivers eat there. The food mostly is takeout. They're open late. Now, the thing about Dave Roberts is he said that Friends Seminary has changed, and the Quaker the Quaker religious group don't really support them anymore because they're too hoity-toity and they've gotten too upper class for their taste. When my children went there, most of those kids' parents were, doctors and actors. Susan Sarandon's kids went there, and Tim Robbins' kids, and Amanda Peet went there. Kyra Cedric went there. So it was upscale then, but I guess, I don't know, hedge fund owners' children are going there now. I don't know, but anyway. I'm the only vegetarian here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3. It's a real challenge having enough to eat. They serve breakfast for 50 cents, boxed cereal, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, milk and juice. Good deal. Trouble is, at 7 a.m., I'm usually in the middle of writing, and I don't want to stop or I lose my momentum. I just remembered. Singh and his other father used to go to that's Michael John Spear, used to go to the vacant lot near our house on the Lower East Side on Eldridge Street between Broome and Delancey and shoot off small rockets that Singh had made. Singh also used to put together balsa wood airplanes, model airplanes. He also practiced for long hours playing the guitar. He practiced till his fingers bled. Robin alerted me to that happening. I'd started him out playing the violin, Robin and Melanie as well, but seeing having been Jimi Hendrix was attached to the guitar. Einstein had enjoyed playing the violin more than anything when he wasn't busy. Having projected myself as Einstein, I loved the violin and wanted my children to experience the joy that comes with making beautiful music on it. These pages stick together. Come on. There it goes. I couldn't do it myself. I couldn't play the violin myself. This life, because at 6, my piano teacher, Mrs. Mildred Jones, had hit my fingertips with a ruler when I made a mistake which gave me a mental block toward playing any instrument. The day my 3 children sing guitar, rock guitar, a teen, Robin, about 12 or 13 years old, and playing violin, and Melanie, 5 years old, playing violin, all played their instruments on the same talent show at Satsang. I was so proud of them. The adult guitar players on the show were clearly shocked that Singh was so good at playing the guitar. Actress Jan Cox was also clearly impressed with Singh's performance. She came up to me praising him lavishly. I was proud of all of them. They'd spent many years practicing. Robin played the violin for 10 years. Melanie switched to piano. She started at 2 years old. Also, Singh went on to become a professional traveling a musician all over the world, with the alternative rock group Luscious Jackson having been discovered by co-founder of the group Gabby Glazer. Singh made appearances on Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, The Tonight Show a couple of times, and Fox and Friends. I think one of his favorite gigs with Luscious Jackson was playing the Tibetan Freedom Festival in Amsterdam. He showed me the poster of it proudly. Once when he was eating in a restaurant in the UK, another patron knew he was somebody. He came over and asked Singh if he was Will Smith. They do favor. They look alike. I've noticed that too, which makes sense since you realize they're brothers, although in different lifetimes. Will Smith was my son Seth at the beginning of time in the Garden of Eden, and Singh Birdsong is my son now, of course. Singh and Robin used to go skiing on their school outings, school being Friends Seminary. And when they were younger, we used to take the sleds to Central Park Hills, where they'd slide in the snow during the hills, yelling, "Whee!" I heard Singh say when he got older that life was an adventure. He surfed in the Pacific Ocean in Maui in Hawaii, the home of Wayne Dyer when he was alive, soon to be reborn as Singh's brother, my new son, created with the sun, S-U-N, God, my father, do soon. My new son's name is Giancarlo Arturo. My daughter Robin was created in the hearts and minds of her parents, Z. Michelle Birdsong and Stevie Wonder, as she held Stevie Wonder's arm, and they walked to the laboratory on an American Airlines 727 jet. The attraction was intense, though neither spoke of it, though their hearts where the spark was felt, ignited. He's perfect for me, she thought. She's perfect for me, he thought. They spoke, the heart spoke to the brains, and the brains spoke to their genitals, and new life, new love was created. Born, DNA, genes distributed. 7 years later, birth was activated by physical sex with her then husband, Edwin Birdsong, Robin's other father. You understand what I said? The baby was conceived with Stevie Wonder and brought into the earth with Edwin Birdsong. The physical sex. When Steve was on my flight from Detroit and he asked me to walk him to the restroom, as we arrived at the door to the John, I said, "Do you need me to come in with you?" I'd already selected him. I'd already judged him perfect. I'm just telling you more about the conception of Robin. When he heard the question, "Do you want me to come in with you?" he decided instantaneously, "She's perfect." He felt yes, but he said no. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, Jesus Christ, said at a satsang, a meeting, "Ladies, let us think it's our idea sometimes." Fast forward from having decided we were perfect for each other in our hearts, and our hearts signaled this information to our brains, and our brains signaled this information to our genitals, which set about creating new life in our minds. What you create in your mind, you can hold in your hand, somebody insightfully pointed out. So what happened was, he said no, he didn't want me to come in the bathroom with him at that time. Now, about 5 years later, see, that was 1968. In 1970 or 71, we had become friends because when this album, What It Is, came out, Steve called and said he wanted to meet us. He loved the album and he wanted to meet us. So we became fast friends. And we were at Gary Bird's house, apartment in Left Rock City. And I was taking a shower because our electricity was off and I didn't want to take a shower in the dark in our house in Hollis, Queens. We hadn't much money at that time. So Steve was there and he said he needed to use the bathroom. So he came, I said, well, he can come in, I'm not going to peek. So he came in the bathroom and peed. I could hear it, even though the water was running. So I realized tonight, he told me he didn't want me to come in the bathroom with him on the airplane years ago. But he did. But it wasn't his idea. You see, you gotta make it think it's his idea. So it was his idea to come in the bathroom with me at Gary Bird's apartment, you see. So he came in the bath. You see what I'm saying? Men are really, and he's a Taurus, he's slow, you know. But we had already made the baby anyway. We made the baby on when I asked the question, or on the walk to the door of the John on the airplane is when we made the baby. Robin Michelle Birdsong. Okay, that's it. I hope you are enjoying this information about these extraordinary people. Okay, so I mean, imagine you get to know Adam and Eve, and you get to know the founding father John Hancock, and you get to know Christopher Columbus, you know, and you get to know Socrates. So this is amazing. How life is amazing. Okay, this is the Michelle Birdsong. Eve, mother of the earth. Jesus Christ's wife, Mary Magdalene. You're looking at Jesus Christ, Gurinder Singh Dhillon. Okay. They're telling him he owes $342 million because some distant relatives is trying to set him up. They're mad at him because they want to be guru. So Robin is in India, New Delhi, where this is going on. So we hope we can fix it. Okay, so long.